That was wonderful, Samaya. Our next presenter, Nazia, likes psychology and cats. Some things she claims to not be able to live without are comic books and water.
Nazia is also an amazing visual artist. And keep a good eye out and have a really good look at them because all of the slides on her presentation are her own original creations. Take it away, Nazia.
Society is like math. Basically, you have a lot of equations. At age 18, graduate from high school with a 90 above grade to get into one of the top 3 universities of said city, and graduate from that university at the ripe age of 27 to live a happily ever after with your gorgeous spouse and 2 perfect kids. Society has a tendency to make molds for us. And different societies mean different molds. Like mine would be different from yours. But there's one thing that we just tend to forget. It's that society is flawed. And the people who make these rules are not perfect. And so what I'm eventually getting at is that these rules are not perfect. And these molds are flawed. Life is too complicated to be just governed by a simple set of rules. And you yourself are so complex and ever-changing that it would be nearly impossible to fit into a mold. Granted, I too had a life formula a couple years ago. Having a life plan is not a bad thing, but being highly flexible is really nice. I was gonna be a doctor with charm and intelligence and grace and beauty and money and just an adult all around. But that all changed. Coming to Canada, 2 weeks in, I'm like, I don't want to be a typical doctor anymore. It's like, what? What exactly happened? Well, I had a spiritual awakening. Oh, okay. I was coming out of my previous mold, and it was sort of scary because wasn't I a huge bio nerd? Didn't I love studying and competitions and grades? And what was I going to do with this heaping pile of expectations on my head? Look, I'm not going to tell you that I went into a deep, dark hole of depression from which there is no return. Because duh, I had a spiritual awakening in my back pocket. But others are not so fortunate. I've seen families and friends and strangers and people just suffer because of deep-rooted insecurities and fear and trauma, and the one line that I hate the most, I'm not perfect enough. I'm like, newsflash, you're not supposed to be. There's no such thing as perfect. If you look at our world, our whole world, and grab something from it and just grasp it and look at it, it's not going to be perfect. And it's the same case with you. People are so just hating on their personalities, just hating themselves and just hiding away and concealing themselves. And I don't blame them anymore because the world has become such a cruel place for us now. Suddenly, being quirky means you're weird or non-serious, and being a loner means you have no social skills. Like what? No, okay? We need the thinkers and the loners and the creators and the social. We need all of them. The world needs you. And it's rejecting you at the same time. It's your job to prove to them that you belong here. It's your job to show your worth and to follow the right path of being yourself. And just own it. I know it's hard, been there, am trying to do just that. But that doesn't mean you should just quit. Because what would be life if you just started quitting on everything? Don't quit on yourself. Accept yourself already. I believe in people. I'm not going to be up here and be like, I think you can do anything. without a reason. Human beings are highly evolved species. We have incredible brains and incredible thinking capacity. Use it, take advantage of it, and get to know it. You don't grow when you're in someone else's shoes. You grow when you know your own weaknesses, your own strengths, your own desires, goals, passion, and you know who you are. And I guarantee you, once you start accepting yourself, you'll want to know more about yourself. You'll want to know, hey, what else can I do? What are my weaknesses? What am I good at? What do I like? What do I want to be? When I visualize light, I see a path, and it's dark there. But there's light too, coming from above. That path is you. It's your destiny, it's who you are, it's where you should be, it's where you belong. And that light is your heart. So let it shine through, let it guide you, let it lead you to who you really are. Oh, real time with Nazia, ladies and gentlemen. Adulting and maturity, when most people think about it, it's like for them it's being beautiful and rich and just people chasing after them, and that's success. For me, that's not the case, and that's not a big surprise now. For me, maturity is about being comfortable in your own skin, being confident in who you are, knowing your own skill sets and using it to cope with everyday life. And so when I think about all these things, I'm not afraid anymore. I'm actually excited to be an adult, to be a young adult, to grow up, to have more maturity. I want to know more about everything. I'm going to conclude my whole presentation with this one quote that I recently heard and am in love with completely. It's by the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He had once said, "Seek the guidance from thy soul. Seek the guidance from thy soul. Seek the guidance from thy soul. The virtuous deed is one whereby thy soul feels restful and thy heart contented." Thank you.